my beautiful collective. It's Kai. Did you actually take note of the things that didn't work? Were you also validating the disappointment? I feel like that's a very interesting emotion to feel. And maybe, in a sense, the optimism isn't something that's actually helpful. Once again, disclaimer, this is all based on my own experience. I'm not trying to tell you what to do or what works best for you. I'm just sharing, once again, expressing myself. So one of the things that I've noticed is that when it comes to actually noting the disappointment, so not really necessarily having those expectations set in stone. So yes, still working with the universe, being grateful, allowing your own experiences to be for what it is and what you make it to be. But when it comes to that emotional validation of disappointment and things that pretty much didn't align with you, just because you're attracting all these things, that's like one of the biggest, how would I even explain that? One of the biggest lessons, I guess, that I've been really taking note of is, despite being a feminine entity that identifies with the feminine being and also the feminine energy, acknowledging that I too have feminine and masculine energy, it's so important to actually work with myself, to make moves, to move forward, to present things, to allow the opportunity to be a blessing and not to block myself. And it's kind of like a conflux of the duality in that as well. It's like, even though I see things in a more positive light and optimistic manner, it doesn't mean that I don't experience disappointment or grief or sadness, or maybe like I wish it was this way, you know? It's such a human thing to experience it to that level where you're recognizing, you know what? I actually don't like this anymore. I don't like it, and I don't feel that I truly deserve to be treated in this way, for example. And still being able to let go and not make it this ego thing, like an ego trip where you're just kind of like, you know what, like, fuck this, like, no, not any of that. It's more so being grateful for what it is, seeing the reality. You know, there's such thing as spiritual psychosis. There's also such thing as your ego that attaches to any experience that you're having from the past. So when your past is something that's so painful that you are fearful of this thing repeating itself, it's in that own sense to allow yourself to step outside of your comfort zone, to step away from your own familiarity. Maybe that pain, maybe that grief is so familiar to you that it was just automatic. You just kept going back to this same old cycle over and over and over that it wasn't even questioned. I'm really interested in neuroplasticity nowadays, because especially as I am at the age where my brain is like, quote unquote, fully developed, I feel like there is space now for me to develop new pathways within my brain because of the fact that literally my life, I get to see the things unfold outside of anything that I've ever known before, and still releasing that, because attaching to it and making this whole delusional, like, I'm serious though, spiritual psychosis, fucking real as shit, for real shit. And I was sitting in a cafe today, and I was seeing repeated numbers, and I'm literally staring at a fucking, I think it's a raven, I don't know, but it looks like it. And it's funny because I kept seeing twos, and that was my sign previously that I asked the universe to send me, and for a specific thing. And then I was kind of like, let's switch it up, let's change it up, I'm gonna change it to something else. And then it just kept presenting itself, and I realized, especially because I was drawing my own cards and doing my own thing and like journaling, that even though you release the kind of like identification with something, and then you re-identify it, you redefine it, you redirect it, it's still going to present something to you, whatever that may be, whatever you define it to be. And I realized, like, I'm not disappointed in myself, but I am disappointed in this experience for me. that is not meant for me. And it's finally saying no, you know? When your words match your actions and your behaviors, so therefore your patterns, it's really showing your character, your personality, how you show up for yourself. And it's such a weird thing because it's like, I'm human, you're human, right? We all have these human desires, and it's still allowing myself to feel those things but not be drowned by those desires. That's why I don't believe that being Delulu is the Solulu, because what solution are you actually bringing into your own reality? What are you doing actively that's inspiring you to interact with your reality for what it is, not what you want, but what you need? Because to truly show up for yourself and be like, you know what, this is enough. I don't need to constantly experience this karmic cycle where I'm learning this lesson over and over and over again, which for me was to choose myself. To choose myself. And it's such a funny thing because I'm sitting here at this beautiful park and I realize truly, the universe always works. It works in a way that's in your favor, that's beyond anything that you have ever known before. So the infinite potentiality is presented to you as long as you're aware. As long as you bring your consciousness to this present moment, not to the past, not to the future, even though those things are just as important, yes. It doesn't mean that your present reality, your present existence doesn't exist. It ceases to exist when you're so caught up in the past and the future. And I'm only speaking with the pronouns of you because a video, right? But it's like, I was really recognizing that I was having this reckoning with myself, which is what I was going to say. But I was recognizing that. I was like, you know what? This overthinking thing is just really not working out for me. And it's funny because it's like, it will take practical steps to catch myself when I'm falling, quote unquote. Even when I do fall, to pick myself back up. And you know how? By evolving through love, by elevating through love, by allowing my presence to unfold, to see my own light and resonate with my own light. Not what other people perceive me to be or what's so great about me, you know? It's like they don't know you because they're not experiencing you. Do you know yourself? Do you understand yourself? Because no matter what people say about you, it won't truly matter. And I say that in a way where it's like matter in itself, materializing. The density that you take up on this physical dimensional experience, you as the physical incarnate, as you're living and breathing and eating and nourishing and shitting, every single aspect, every single death and rebirth that you experience, every single thing that makes you feel so much like yourself. And I was like, that really, really rung through. It was just like, you know what? I have my desires and truly I do deserve them. It doesn't mean that I need them though. Does that make sense? And so I was like, you know what? I'm gonna take my power back. I'm gonna call my power back clean, clear, calibrated, and only belonging to me. And the things that I view as success, the things that I want to pursue, the passions that live in my own light and fire, so that I can continue to create, because we're all creators. But it's also so that I can connect with myself on a deeper level. You are going to live every single fucking day with yourself. And then you're just gonna die, right? And we don't know when we're gonna go. So that's why I was like so caught up in this whole thing about death, because I was like freaking out. I was like, oh my God, I don't know when all these fucking beautiful ass people are gonna die. So it's like, I gotta spend as much time with them. But truly, am I spending time with myself? And even as I say that, I'm recognizing that I'm abundant. No matter where I go, no matter who I'm around, no matter why I'm there, or what is happening around me. It's such an interesting thing, this life that I get to live, and to be able to perceive the things that I see and to let it go as well. Because to attach to another person's perspective, right, based on their own perceptions, it's like allowing space for other people to be different. And to also see the same, the similarities, the resonance, the ways in which we're reflecting right back to each other. So that is the video. Thank you so much for allowing me to speak, truly. Thank you for being you. seriously. Thank you for being alive. And I'm sending you guys so much love and support on your own spiritual